this series, we've already gone through editing the study information to adding in the correct general worker link from JATOS from our online study here, where we went into our worker and batch manager. We went into our correct batch and we got this link. This has been added in to our Sona study. So now we're here on Sona, and all we're going to do is create for this study some new time slots. So from the study page, you administer time slots. And for these online ones, for an online automated study, essentially, all a participant does is fill out the pre-screen information on Sona. If they're eligible, then they get a link. So all that goes on in here. We're not going to set up a specific time or anything. Is we just need to set our final deadline. So I'm going to click in here. I'm not quite sure what the final deadline should be, but for now, this is changeable. I'm going to put this as the 16th, and I'll just put it essentially at midnight for a participant to finish. And I'm selecting the maximum number of participants. So I have my 12 conditions, and each has 50, so that's going to be 600 here. Total participants can sign up and do this study. So I go ahead and hit add time slot. That is it. It gives me this little message of adding a time slot at an unusual time, which is just because the deadline for participation is so late. But participants can sign up at any point between now and up to when this goes by. But any participation, basically, if they click through the link, they access the study after this time. They wouldn't be automatically granted credit. So that is essentially it for creating a time slot here. I can click into it. Actually, before I do that, if I hit View Website, we're going to see once again in that bottom left-hand corner of my browser, right, that the website, this is not viewable to the participants, but the website here is our IP address for a general worker. So if I click into this right now, this gives me the participant view, where once participants have signed up, this view will be completely overwhelming because there will be a specific mini time slot with every participant's email address that they signed up for in the Sona system and their name, saying that they have accessed the study, essentially. If you wanted to manually sign up a participant, you can do so here. Everything here is essentially the same. The last thing to look at is, because these are sort of in batches, is you can hit this batch credit grant button, which will grant everyone who has signed up for the study credit for going through. Pretty simple. I'm pretty sure you can actually even set up, you can, they only sign up 50% of the time for, anyway. Interesting. I've never heard of that before. But I think this is for a Sona internal study. This participant limit doesn't matter to us because we're running on an external server. But if we wanted to, go to a list, we could actually take the specific names of the UCIDs of people who have participated through, and essentially, click this, and then it would, none of us are actually signed up for this, but basically these participants we could then grant credit in this sort of batch format here. Yeah, so that's about it for setting up, slots here. One idea that we might have, and probably should maybe do for this in a previous version, is just to create, multiple runs of this study, like batch A, B, C, and D, and link those up to specific JATOS batches here. They would all be running the exact same study, but it might just be an easier way to track that we have 100 participants that sort of have gone through, versus if a participant has an error, having to go back and look at, through this list of 600 names to try and see if we can find where that is and grant credit accordingly or change something. But that's about it for setting it up in Sona. It's very straightforward, and that is where we will end the video.